Hi patrons, I hope that you all are doing well. This video is all about clearing and charging your decks. Yes, clearing and charging your decks, which is one of my most favorite things to do, especially when I get a new deck. It's like meeting a new friend. It is meeting a new friend, a new energy, and you want to make sure that you are making that first interaction as pleasant as possible, clearing the energy from it, especially if you ordered it in the mail. There's a lot of transport and energy that the deck has gone through. So it's usually advised not to just whip out the deck and start doing readings with it. It's like when you meet a friend, you don't just be like, give me $20 when you the first time you meet a new friend. So when you meet a deck, you want to be gentle, inviting, and kind of feel each other out. You're learning each other, and you want to like it to be a mutually respectful kind of thing. So I'm just going to go over a few things. As usual, you use your intuition, you do what's best for you, take what works, and leave the rest. Okay. All right. So I want to talk about like when you first get a deck. The first thing you do when you get a deck, usually for me, it'll be in the box. I'm using the Tazama African Tarot. This is my latest new deck, and I absolutely love it. And the artwork is beautiful, beautiful. And so, you get the new deck in the box. The first thing I usually do, since it's been in transport, is I'll sage it or use Palo Santo, and I'll sage the whole outside of the box, and I'll also sage I'll take out the deck and sage that. You can use sage or Palo Santo, so I'll do that. And then what I will do is I charge my decks on my ancestral altar. See, y'all are getting the tea. Y'all are getting the tea. YouTube ain't getting this tea. I charge my deck on my ancestral altar, like asking my ancestral team in the spiritual realm to support this deck, to support me using this deck and communicating and all involved. So I'll take my deck and I'll put a piece of clear quartz for clarity on top of the deck, and I'll charge it for at least 24 hours on the ancestral altar for it to kind of get cleared and charged and initiated into the deck family. So I'll do that. And then depending on the deck, sometimes, some people, when you like after the whole charging situation, some people, depending on the instructions of the deck, some people will put the deck to their heart or say a prayer. You can do that, saying, may this deck support my highest good and all involved. May it support the highest good of the people I read for, or my clients that I serve, or whoever comes into interaction with this deck. Whatever you want to do, some people do that. I usually do some sort of prayer for the intention to work with this deck, speaking it. And yeah, so that's how I charge and clear the deck. And then what I will usually do is, in terms of like everyday thing, there are other ways to clear the deck. You want, when you're working with a deck, even if it's from day to day, you want to make sure you're clearing the deck, clearing it, especially if it's been stored, like mine is stored in my closet. I need to get a bigger cubby because the collection it's getting big. But what I usually do is clear in some way, because I noticed the readings were a lot more clear. I learned this from this Hay House Tarot Oracle card workshop thing. This is like an old school way of clearing it. You can also like knock on the deck 3 times, because sound is another way of clearing it. So if you want to clear your deck, if you don't have smoke or like sage, Palo Santo as a way of clearing or cleansing your deck, and you want to use sound, you can, because the vibration of sound is cleansing as well. So what I learned from that workshop is you, since if it's in an encasing like a box, what you do is you knock on the box 3 times to clear, and then you knock on the deck 3 times, and that clears the energy. So I usually do that when I'm just reading for myself from day to day, just as like a daily maintenance of clearing the energy from the deck and saying, hello, I'm clearing it, I'm ready to read. So that's another thing you can do. And if you don't feel comfortable, or if Sage or Palo Santo is not accessible, even when you first get the deck, you can feel free to just knock on it with sound. So if you see readers, like I see a lot of people who've been reading for a really long time, like I was like, what are they doing? Until I learned, like they're clearing it, they're clearing the deck. So that's another way to do that. So you have smoke and you have sound. So those are the ways that you can clear in your deck, and you can charge your deck on the altar. Some people charge their decks under the full moon or new moon. Feel free to do that. Work with your intuition. So some people do that. Leaving it out in the sun, I don't know about that in terms of like the temperature and stuff like that. So I'd be kind of careful about that. But yeah, the full moon and new moon people, some people do that as well. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is like, if you have a pendulum, you can check to see if your deck is like in alignment, is ready to go and clear for reading. So what you can do is you can take your deck and you can take your pendulum, if you have a pendulum, and you can see if it's moving clockwise, like, and from my point of view, my deck is moving clockwise. Ooh, clockwise, and it's got powerful energy. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. If it's moving counterclockwise, the other way, it needs to be cleansed or charged. So you want to cleanse it with sage or knock on it 3 times, or whatever you need to do to cleanse it to make sure it's good to go. Because I have had some decks that were a little wonky because they, I don't know why, but I would do a reading with it and it would feel off. And then I checked it with my pendulum and it was moving counterclockwise, so I had to cleanse it. So that, if you have a pendulum, that's one way to check if your deck is ready to go and clear for reading. Yeah, so this is, I feel like, very, like, it's very sacred in a way. When you first get a deck and you're building a relationship and you're bringing it in, create something that is personal to you, that feels authentic to you. These are just tools to support you with clearing and charging your deck. Hope that it was helpful. Yeah, let me know in the comments what kind of rituals you create with your deck or what works for you. And yeah, I'm excited to continue to provide this tutorial aspect for you in your practice. Yeah. And lastly, I just wanted to show you a little bit of this artwork. I will probably do a video that shows the deck, my deck collection, for just exclusively for Patreon, because yeah, I think it's fun. So yeah, this is some of the artwork. It's collage. I love the colors of this. And this is the Tazama African Tarot. I'll leave the link down below. It's just such beautiful work. Yeah, okay, I don't want to make this video too long, but if you want more information about this deck, and this is what it looks like on the front, and I love the side side color, like the gold frame, and yeah, all that good stuff. You can tell it's Gemini season because I'm like all over the place. But yeah, if you want to learn more about this deck or have any other suggestions for tarot tutorial videos, questions you have as you're cultivating your personal tarot practice, feel free to just, message me on here or leave it in the comment section. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Love you. Bye.